Hello and welcome to another Master Math Movie Media production where you get to play the role of the therapist and solve all of math's problems. Today we're going to embark on a new chapter, Chapter 3. And the very first lesson in Chapter 3 includes writing equations in slope-intercept form. It begins on page 108. Turn there now and we'll get started. No new vocabulary for the start of this particular section, so we're just going to do a quick review on what slope-intercept form is. I have it up here. Remember, slope-intercept form is a linear equation, and so when we graph it, it will be in a line. Remember, we have y equals mx plus b, where the m stands for the what? The slope, and the b stands for the y-intercept. All right. So we're going to start off nice and easy for this first section, and they're going to give us a graph like you'll see here. This is example number 1 in your book. They want us to write an equation in slope-intercept form of this line right here. So our only instructions are to write the equation in slope-intercept form of this line. We can do this in a couple of steps here. First step is to find the y-intercept. So to find the y-intercept, remember what the y-intercept is? It's where this line crosses the y-axis. It crosses the y-axis at what point? 0, 5, right? So our y-intercept equals 5. And that's a positive 5, isn't it? Because it's above the x-axis. Our second step is to find the slope of this line. And we're going to find the slope of this line by starting at one point on the left and going to a point on the line to the right of that. So to do that, we're going to go over 2, down 3. Remember though, that slope is rise over run. Rise over run. So we need to put our rise on top. How many did we go down? What was our rise? We went down -3, so our rise should be a -3. And what was our run? Our run was 2. So that's our slope. We have everything we need now to put this into slope-intercept form. What I have to do is I need to write y equals, then the slope, which we found to be a -3 over 2, and then we had a positive 5 for our y-intercept, and then I'm done. That's all there is to it. Here's the second example, same thing. It wants us to write it in slope-intercept form, so our goal is to get to write the equation of this line, y equals mx plus b. And what we're going to have to do first is to find the y-intercept. That's what I would do anyway. And our y-intercept is a -3. So I'm going to make a note of that so I don't forget. The y-intercept is a -3. And now I need to find the slope. So going from left to right, my line is going up from left to right, so I know my slope should be positive. And it's rise over run, remember. So let's find out our run first. I got to go over 3. To be in line with the second point. And I got to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So my slope is going to be, M stands for slope, remember. 5 is the rise and the run is 3, and that cannot be reduced any further. And so now I just need to write this in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to 5 over 3. And our y-intercept for our b was -3. And that's it. I'm done. All right, here's one for you to try on your own. I want you to pause this video right now. I want you to see if you can follow the same exact steps that we just did to write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. All right, remember, slope-intercept form, once again, not x, mx plus b. I would find my y-intercept first. My y-intercept is 2. What's your slope? Your rise is 2, and your run is 1. To the right, 1, up, 2. So your slope is 2 over 1, or simply just 2. You don't need the 1 on the bottom. And now we just got to put it into slope-intercept form. So we're going to write it as y equals 2x, and then our y-intercept, which is a positive 2. And that's our answer. Okay, here's the second one. I want you to try. Follow the same steps. Do your thing. All right, I'm going to walk through this one and I'm going to solve it. The y-intercept, I look, it's a -1. My slope is going to be working left to right. My run is 3. My rise is down 4, so -4. So just putting this into slope-intercept form, -4 over 3x, and my y-intercept was -1. That should be our answer right there. Okay, so the last one that I want to talk to you about in this particular video is a graph that looks like this. Why don't you see if you can pause the video and see if you can figure this one out. This is actually number 2, where it gives you multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. See if you can figure this one out. All right, let's tackle this the same way we did the other ones to start with. I don't know why I keep wanting to do x. It's mx plus b. Our y-intercept is -4. What's our slope? Our slope, how many do you run? Not sure. How many do you rise? Right? You can't have a 0 on the top. Okay, so this is nothing. What we're left with is y equals a -4, because you can't have a 0 on the numerator of a fraction, right? And what is our rise here? 0. We don't go up any, we don't go down any. So we would have a 0 in the rise section. That can't happen. So what we have is just y equals -4. The thing that you need to keep in mind from this is that whenever you see a y equals and then an integer, that is just telling you that it's a horizontal line at that place. So y equals a -4 is going to be a horizontal line at -4. If you saw something like, let's say, oh, I don't know, what could you see? Let's make up something. Y equals 1. Y equals 1. All that's telling you is that we have a horizontal line at 1. Okay? All right, well, that brings us to the end for today. Nice and short and sweet and to the point. We're going to start off easy and then gradually get harder as we move on in the chapter. Hopefully this made sense to you and you understood it. If not, do some of the practice problems, and practice makes perfect. I will leave you then with a joke of the day, and that would be, what do you call a sleeping dinosaur? A dino snore. All right, guys. Well, I hope you learned something today. We'll see you next time. And remember, as always, God loves you.